My name is Antonella Parodi, but I go by Anto. I don't like my full name. I'm an international student at Brooklyn College. I am from Uruguay. It's a small country in Latin America. It's right below Brazil. And I came here to study film. Growing up in Uruguay was, I guess at the time, it didn't feel great. Now I really miss it just because it's home and we all get nostalgic. But I had a really nice, like a pretty good childhood. Coming to America and adjusting to living here wasn't something that I was worried about at all, because I grew up very immersed in American pop culture and the American culture and the American way of life. I think what surprised me was that the second I got here, I wanted to connect more to my Uruguayan side. So I started doing stuff that I never did at home. For example, listening to music in my own language. I never used to do that. I always used to listen to music in English, and I would do everything in English. I think in English, even though it's not my first language. I listened to a radio show that my brother used to listen to, but I remember being home and his room is upstairs, mine's downstairs, but I could hear the radio show that he was listening from all the way from my room, and I started to listen to that radio show. It's like a news column. Even though I've never been interested in it, I'd never been interested in whatever was happening in my country because I never planned on living there. But moving here, I started to become more interested in that, and I wanted to be more involved in everything like that. So that took me by surprise. Everything that I knew and everyone that I know, they're all back home. The moment that I came here, it was really hard to just being by myself and having to do everything for myself and by myself. I would go like an entire week without talking to absolutely anyone because I didn't know anyone. I started to get depressed, and the Cat Cafe really helped me like feel better and overcome it. The way that I found the Brooklyn Cat Cafe was through my friend. She was my roommate at the time, and she had found out online about this cat cafe, and we went there for my friend's birthday, and then we started going every week just to go because we loved it. And one of the volunteers there was like, if you guys come here all the time, you should just volunteer. And so that's when we started volunteering. Each cat has their own story, and each person that comes into the cafe has their own story as well. And sometimes they just come, they come for the kids, but other times you can tell that they need something. They're having a bad day and they just need like some form of therapy. Animals are very, very good at that. And so it's kind of like great to have this one space that is open and safe. The legend of the phoenix tells of a mythological bird that plunges headfirst into the fire, yet rises from the ashes in a show of rebirth. It's a story of new beginnings in the face of complete devastation. And now it's time to arise. This is a lie. I'd never walk around here. I never walk, period.